Welcome back here to Sports Central. My name is Bladder Kim, and now still talking football, and we'll talk some top talking points in the world of football. It would be the Akwa said Governor's Cup. Well, quick substitution have taken place. Marizona and Timber David leaving the show, and quickly a substitution takes place. Akademo Kufre joins the conversation, and Mr. Emmanuel Brown. We were talking about the Governor's Cup, and here representing your local government, the Governor's Cup in Akwa has been so fascinating number of games have taken place. About 442 goals have been scored so far, and about 29 teams have been eliminated from the Governor's Cup so far, and it's so fascinating. And while Team Uyo well represented, maybe he could have gotten a team. He could have asked to also join the conversation, but let's make do with what we have at the moment. The Governor's Cup final is set to happen in Rumble today. The first game would be the third place game, and next would be the main event. The main event is the final. Your local government facing Ikot Abasi local government. Akademo Kufre, massive to have you on the show. You know why I'm doing lots of because your profile keeps changing every time. Okay. Before now, we keep talking about Akademo Kufre in regards to cricket, and now I hear you're a media personnel for your local government and doing quite well in that regard. Welcome to the show.
You're quite correct there. Thank you, Blyden. We are going to talk about carrying the cup also.
Talking tough as a media personnel about carrying the cup. And one of the other guests we have is Mr. Emmanuel Brown. Emmanuel Brown is the secretary team Uyo. Lots of a profile for him. Former FA acting chairman he was, and former El Reed footballer for Saudi Arabia, and former Shooting Stars and Rovers of Calabar, and former Kano Pillars. Lots of former for you. Welcome to the show. Former ex-international in that regard. Massive to have you. Well, let's start the conversation. I can Kufre with you regarding the Governor's Cup. So far, what the Governor's Cup has been for you, and what are you looking at the finals? We hear the Governor would be part of it today.
Definitely, it's the high point of the whole drama that started last September, and a lot of people are expecting Uyo to bring quality to the play that we will see this evening. And don't forget, Uyo played unbeaten, the only team that has played unbeaten in the tournament so far. So we're going to see fantastic football from Uyo's side, because Ikorabasi can prove it tough, because they've scored, they're at par, the same goal scored, 27 in Uyo, but we've not considered like them. We've not lost any game. So I think we are the superior brother here when it comes to that football finals that we're going to see this evening. And also, your team parades a very thick, I must say, very thick and heavy advisors on the bench. Looking at the likes, beginning from the likes of Mr. Emmanuel Brown, who is here, who had experience in within and outside the country.
All right, football. Let's hear about from the big man now, Mr. Emmanuel Brown. Welcome to the show now. I would have loved to say how fascinating is it for you to join the show and lead through your side as the secretary of the side so far. But let's talk about Ikorabasi. That's strong contenders in this one. And no pushovers. They've scored, as Akademo Kufre said, they've scored 27 goals. Just like your local government has scored 27 goals. A massive encounter it is. But talk to us about the growth of the Governor's Cup, where it started and where it's reached now.
Yeah, definitely. I really want to thank the entire people, the people of Rio, and the world, the entire Akwa Ibom state. Most especially the governor, Mr. the sports commissioner, for making it possible to rekindle the fire that comes with Governor's Cup. Why I'm saying all of this is that I am a benefactor of Governor's Cup. I could remember I played the first ever, let me say this first inception. Then we used to call it Akwa Ibom World Cup. And it happened, I came in towards the end of the game, and I scored the winning goal that made you the first people to lift that trophy. Fortunately enough, I'm happy that I still belong to the clique that runs football in Rio. I want to really emphasize on Ikorabasi. They are not pushovers. They have a good side, determined, good football artistry, and very, very determined. In a little word, I stood with my players yesterday trying to, hype and tell them a little bit about footballing when it comes to final, because I'm one man that has never I've played more than probably 15 finals. I'm also a gold medalist, Manowa Adebayo Cup. I'm from Akwa Ibom, but I played for Kano State. We won the 1985 exception. So the Governor's Cup, or the finals of the Governor's Cup is a tough one. No doubt about that, but I really believe we are prepared. You is prepared, Team U is prepared, and with the little good technical team we have a good technical team. If you look at our team, the technical team, very sound, exposed, and we've been able to nurture and advise them and motivate them to stand up to that task and make sure that Rio comes out victorious today.
Well, Mr. Imam Brown is talking about you're coming up victorious. Akanimo Kufre, let's talk about one aspect of the Governor's Cup. The ideals of the Governor's Cup is for development of talent and bring out new talent. And that's why I'm asking you. You've talked about victory. Yes, sport is competitive. But beyond that, you've seen the Governor's Cup lay out. Talk to us about developmental prowess that's come from this Governor's Cup. How many players are out, especially for your local government? And the next question would be, whether they win or not, what next for them?
Okay, thank you, Blyden, for this opportunity. The Governor's Cup, I think, has made the dreams of the founding fathers and the governor himself. We've had some of it within Uyo. We've seen about 4 of them being fished out by top clubs. Like yesterday's semi FA Cup match against Akwa United and Vandresa, we saw about 4 Uyo boys in the mix. And Ikorobasi also will be coming up with.
So they're already drafted into the big teams, huh?
Of course. Ikorobasi also, I think, is going to be a match of sharpest attackers and against the last defense, because the goalkeeper from Ikorobasi is a very strong chap when it comes to the goalkeeping department. You see that he has been fished out also from this Governor's Cup to signing with a big club. And one of the wingers in Uyo also, and the number 9 for Uyo, is also been fished out by a big club in the city. So it's going to be a very interesting one. And then going back to the main aim of the tournament, I think quite a handful of numbers of players have shown quality and class, like you always say, and have been taken up by some clubs.
Mr. Brown, let's look at something now in terms of organization. It took a while before the Governor's Cup return. I remember speaking to some of the organizers of the competition some time ago, and we're looking forward to what next from the competition. In terms of organization, plus and minus have been a certain offside to it, especially the final took about 3 months for the final to take place, and we are at it now. What would you say has been the positives of this particular competition and the areas of weakness that needs to be improved on?
Yeah, on the positive aspect of it, I want to really compliment the football ruling body. Now we don't have an FA, we have the normalization committee, courtesy of the Nigerian Football Federation. So on that aspect, I want to really compliment, because once again we've been able to dictate, and we've seen new and upcoming stars, which is the aim of FIFA when it comes to talent fund. And Governor's Cup is a grassroots thing. And I want to also thank the normalization committee, because from the beginning they made one very, very serious emphasis trying to stop the professional players from taking part, that is the premiership players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they now
that has been quite helpful.
Yes, it has been helpful, because if they did not do that, most of the players we are seeing today wouldn't have been discovered. So that is number one. Then
in terms of weakness,
what
to improve on?
I don't want to blame it on the current body that is controlling football, the normalization committee. And I know definitely if the FA had been in place, I don't think such abnormalities would have come in. I don't call it a mistake, and I don't call it a weakness. What really happened was the break in transmission, let me use that language, was because of some lapses here and there, and with the people in charge, they tried to do it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right to measure up, and at the end of the day, we've been able to host the finals. And I know definitely
you're talking in regard to the finals.
Yes, definitely those problems will be corrected. And I saw some little weaknesses on the areas of security. And I want to tell you, when it comes to footballing, money speaks. Security takes most of the
money gets to determine the functionality of football games.
And I thank God, because with the governor we have today, Pastor Umoino, I believe he's capable of doing better next time.
Well, I'm capable of doing better next time. Pastor Umoino, the governor of Akwa says. Well, Mr. Emmanuel Brown, thank you for being a part of the show. Time is fast spent. When you're talking interesting topics, it gets to happen that way. Thank you also for being a part of the show. And one of the key talking points around the Governor's Cup has been that of officiating. Put that side by side with the Nigerian Premier Football League. And many things officiating has been quite fair at the Governor's Cup. And here, we draw the curtain on today's edition of Sports Central. Thank you for being a part of it. My name is Badr Kim, and thank you for calling.
Thank you so
and thank
much.
you also for being a part of the show. And we say bye-bye.
Bye.